Exterior, Mortis, Western Cliffs, day. Rey scales an icy peak, blasted by wind and sleet. She reaches a plateau and finds her footing. There are statues of robed ancients here, not Jedi. A storm of snow dust obscures her vision. Voices echo. Suddenly she's back in the bright warm sands of the Jakku Desert. Wind sweeps over the dunes. A child's voice screams out. Through the storm of sand, a little girl is dragged away from her mother and father. It's young Rey at the moment her parents abandoned her. The little girl screams, reaching out her hand.
Come back! Wait!
Rey steps toward them, feet dragging in the sand.
Wait.
The mother breaks from the father's grasp and runs toward young Rey, but the father holds her back.
No, we can't. It's too dangerous.
The mother relents, calls to her daughter, heartbroken.
Stay here. Wait for us. We'll come back, understand? I promise we'll come back.
Young Rey screams.
Mom!
Rey's watery eyes match her younger self as the ship rises, casting a shadow over them both. The sandstorm kicks up, obscuring them. It turns from yellow sand to snow. Rey catches her breath, devastated.
They were afraid. Why were they afraid?
No response, only wind.
Luke! Tell me! Why were they afraid?
He doesn't answer. She grows furious, screams. Her lightsaber flashes as she cuts an ancient statue in half. It falls, cracks in half. She looks up at the temple above, anger burning in her eyes. Exterior, Mortis. Eastern Forest, day. Kylo hikes through the winter. Glimpses of the temple break through the canopy above. Suddenly, the wind dies. There's something ahead. A house in the woods, smoke from the chimney. His younger self, Ben Solo, approaches the house. He wears all black robes, a hood. This is clearly some kind of force-induced vision, a sign of this planet's strength. Kylo watches from the shadows as Ben nears the house. When he puts his hand on the iron door handle, it opens. Han Solo stands in the doorway. He looks at his son with sadness and with fear.
What are you doing, Ben?
That's not my name anymore.
Your mother can't see you here. Not like that.
Ben pulls his hood down. He's maybe 17.
I'm not coming back. There's a greater destiny for me.
They're lies, son. Empty promises. You have everything you need right here.
What, you? Her? My master says I have unequal power. Neither of you understand.
Your mother understands more than anyone.
She sent me away.
To learn, to grow.
I have grown.
Kylo watches Han approach his son, strikingly similar to their confrontation on the catwalk on Starkiller Base.
Your mother loves you.
She's afraid of me.
Han eyes the lightsaber in Kylo's hand.
Give me that lightsaber, son.
Han reaches for the lightsaber.
You know I can't.
On the Starkiller Base catwalk, Kylo is back in the moments just before he killed his father. He watches as he plunges the blade through Han Solo. His father's eyes full of love even as the life drains from him. In the Mortis Eastern Forests, Kylo, disturbed and shaken, alone again in the snow. Determined, he takes his first steps up the mountain. Exterior, Coruscant streets, dawn. Empty, silent. R2-D2 and C-3PO emerge from a side street. Two small figures swallowed by the desolate urban landscape. R2-D2 beeps.
I agree. This isn't the Coruscant I remember.
A shadow falls over them both. A towering AT-MT walker rounds onto the boulevard. They watch it pass, dwarfed by it. It stops, a smoking, charred First Order tank in its path. C-3PO and R2-D2 look on, curious. Interior, AT-MT walker cockpit. Day. The AT-MT pilots look down at the burning tank.
Any life forms?
Nope.
Interior, abandoned building, simultaneous. Finn and 100 People's Resistance fighters hunker down inside this empty building. The AT-MT's head is positioned just below them outside.
Now.
Floor-mounted grappling guns fire hooks that stick into the opposite building, creating several zip lines over the AT-MT. Finn clips on a carabiner. Exterior, Coruscant streets, day. 20 Resistance fighters swing onto the AT-MTs like pirates boarding a ship. Finn drops onto the top of the AT-MT's body. Dozens more land beside him. They run along its back to the head. A Resistance fighter cuts through the hatch with a vibra saw. Finn tosses a shock detonator inside.
Clear?
An electric flash within. The pilots slump over the controls. Finn drops in, pushing the pilots aside, taking the helm. A familiar alien, Six Eyes, takes the pilot seat.
Load up!
The side panels of the walker slide open, allowing the Resistance fighters to rappel into the cavity. More armed citizens pour out of the alleys to escort the steel beast as it walks down the boulevard, knocking aside the flipped tank as it passes. A pair of TIE choppers zip around the corner and square off against the AT-MT. The walker blasts them out of the sky. Interior, Capitol, Inquisition Chamber hallway, night. Hux paces. In the next room, Rose screams in pain between electric jabs and shocks.
Chancellor, there's been an insurrection. Word has spread to other districts.
Decimate them.
Sir, the leader is a former FN unit. He was aided by a regiment of our own.
Hux twitches.
Impossible.
We're dispatching additional units to address the revolt.
No. Recall the FN units from active duty.
Sir?
If there is a flaw in the programming, we must correct it. Deploy more brute troopers.
Those mercenaries are undisciplined and expensive.
Perhaps money is all that inspires loyalty anymore. Do it!
Interior, Capitol, Interrogation Chamber, day. Rose's eyes are sunken, clothes ripped, blood peeking through the torn fabric. She hears commotion, the barking of orders. 2 officers enter in a hurry.
Transfer to cell block 6. They want her in maximum security.
One officer releases her from the rack. She slumps forward, dead weight. They drag her toward the door. As they move, Rose opens her eyes, eyeing the electric taser on the officer's hilt. When they reach the door, she hits the lights. She grabs the taser and shocks them both. Clamps both their wrists to the iron shackles.
So long, boys.
Rose shuts the door behind her, leaving the 2 unconscious officers in here alone. Exterior, Imperial Boulevard, day. The AT-MT turns the corner onto Imperial Boulevard. Inside, Finn stokes the revolution via loudspeaker.
We will no longer live in silence. Gather your weapons, rise up, strike back!
Finn squints out the window at the gold droid wandering among the cheering revolutionaries, unsure how he got here.
3PO?
Finn climbs out of the AT-MT hatch for a better look. Suddenly, he's yanked upwards. A brute trooper lifts him out of the hatch and throws him onto the back of the walker. Finn is locked in a fistfight on the back of a moving walker 50 feet off the ground. Finn takes brutal hits from the brute trooper's steel gloves. It's like fighting a medieval knight with his bare hands. A powerful tackle and they both roll off the edge of the moving walker. Slam! They land on the brute trooper's back. He keeps fighting, unharmed. Finn spots the walker's foot coming down on them. They roll away just as it lands. The brute trooper grabs a fallen blaster, puts a heavy foot on his chest, and aims for Finn's heart.
Last words, FM 2187.
Suddenly, laser fire takes him out. Finn looks up at a unit of stormtroopers. The leader takes off his helmet, extends his hand. It's RK-514. He lifts Finn to his feet, hands him a blaster.
Rafe, I like it.
The other stormtroopers take off their helmets and throw them aside, diverse faces with a new purpose: freedom. Interior, Eclipse Destroyer Bridge, space. Connix escorts Leia to a terminal.
The message is from a First Order transmitter. Finn is alive. He has an army ready to storm the Capitol. They need reinforcements.
All we have is what's on this ship. You can't win a war with 100 pilots. +1. Sorry, +2. Okay, I get it.
Leia's face falls from relief to dread.
Where's Rey?
She went on alone. Her choice, not mine. What about the others?
We lost contact with Rose. Finn is alive. He says he has an army on the ground.
Then we put our pilots in the sky and back him up.
They'll kill millions.
What? This is what we've been waiting for. If we take the capital, we can destroy that jammer and call the galaxy to war.
It's too reckless.
Resistance is reckless. Passion is the greatest weapon we have.
Poe appeals to Leia. Their history together laid bare.
The rebels fought the Empire and won. You showed us it could be done, but that was your war. This one's ours. Let us fight it.
Leia looks out at the Resistance fleet. Young, ready.
Set a course for Coruscant. Ready all weapons and attack ships. This is a full assault.
Interior, Eclipse destroyer, docking bay, space. Resistance soldiers load into transports. Pilots lower their droids into place. Urban assault vehicles roll into the open cargo holds of massive heavy transports. Exterior, Eclipse destroyer, space. The Eclipse tacks toward a distant point. The hyperdrive fires, rocketing the massive craft deep into space. Exterior, Temple of Mortis. Day. Kylo Ren ascends the steps to a sealed stone door. The temple is cut into the mountaintop. Uninterpretable carvings, runes, and statues allude to civilization and knowledge long lost. He reaches out. The door bends to his will and opens. A millennium of dust spills from its cracks. But he does not enter. He knows he is not alone.
I knew you'd come.
Kylo turns to face Rey. His mask surprises her. She's only seen the projection of his ideal self in their connections. Not this.
The Force is strong in this place. Can you feel it?
A low rumble. She's digging into his mind.
You're in pain. Beneath that mask.
Get out of my head. You won't like what you find.
He force pushes her back. Her feet slide back a few inches, but she withstands it, steadfast.
I'm stronger than Anakin Skywalker. Stronger than his son.
But you're still afraid.
Of what? You?
Of what you've become. The dark side has left you empty. Alone.
I don't have to be alone. With the power of this place, we could rule the galaxy as the ancients did. The dark side and the light.
You still think I'd join you? After what you did to my family?
Kylo falters a bit.
Were you going to tell me here? Weaken me with the truth? I know what you did. Deep down, I've always known.
She circles him like a lion.
My parents didn't sell me for drinking money. They were hiding me from you.
So you remember.
Flashback 2. The Knights of Ren in the rain. The image from Rey's Force vision when she first touched the lightsaber. A distant child screams.
Mom! Snoke made his orders clear. Find anyone who could destroy him. It didn't take us long to find you.
You killed my parents.
You blame me for your life on Jakku. You should thank me for it. You were safe.
Say it! Did you kill them?
I did.
A blast of powerful energy explodes around her, clearing the temple mount of loose rocks.
You murdered Han Solo.
I'm not here for you, Rey.
Millions of people.
All I want is behind that door.
Rey ignites her dual lightsaber.
Then you'll have to kill me.
Kylo lights his own saber.
I know.
Kylo attacks. They clash on the steps of the temple. Both far more powerful than the last time they met. One of these two will not survive.
Duel of the Fates.
To podcasts and such.